I will probably surprise a lot of you, but today we go with a special video, Calcio Mercato, transfer market, all the players linked to Juve, and I already have a beautiful special draft of a team created by Cristiano Giuntoli for 25-26. What does it take to create a team like the one that I will show you? Well, I will explain you everything. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you are doing fantastically well. You will tell me, Beppe, why speaking about Mercato? We are on the 6th of March, it's taking too long. We need to wait first on that first open window in the beginning of the month of June, and then waiting again for July, for August, maybe the first initial days of September to really see Calcio Mercato going on. Why are we speaking today about Calcio Mercato? Well, guys, if we don't start today, if we don't start anticipating today, it's too late. You need to be first on the players. Otherwise, we will go with what we did in the last session, means waiting until the really last days of Mercato, that it was in the summer or in the winter, to have our players. And this time, we cannot commit that mistake. We need to anticipate. We need to be clear on what we want. Before speaking about Calcio Mercato, ragazzi, today I invite you to be here. We have a special episode of Juve Talk, Juventini of the world, and we have the team of Turin Giants that will join the channel. I can't wait to have them here on the channel. Zach, Kevin, and Farad to speak about Juve, to speak about the top four, who believes in the top four, who believes in something more in a run for the Scudetto, who believes in lifting that trophy in the air. We'll speak about Juve, Atalanta, of course, and then some special surprises, so don't forget to put that notification ring on. If you didn't yet, also, I'm asking you, put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe, share the channel, and comment. You can choose whatever you want, but please beat or try to beat that algorithm because it's helping me so much. So let's start with the first name that has been linked to Juve. We didn't speak a lot about it. Yesterday we just mentioned his name. Why? Because it looks like it's a player that we already know by heart. We already spoke about his quality, about his skills. We were close to have him already in the winter, then it didn't happen. The ID card, some of us already watched him against Milan in Champions League, against Inter yesterday. We are speaking about David Hancko, the first one on that list of Juve, a Giuntoli that already wanted to bring him home in the winter. It's a player, it looks like, that in the winter we didn't make it to have him at home, but we already sealed the deal. At least this is what papers are reporting since yesterday. David Hancko, 22 million euro is the value, the request of Feyenoord and Juventus. They really want to go for that one. Looks like it's already done. When I'm saying they want to go for it, no, looks like it's already done. They wanted to go for it and they closed the deal. David Hancko, the first name on that list, a player that already agreed everything with Juve in terms of salary, 2.5 for a 4-year contract. Ragazzi, I tell you, that's a player that will do extremely well at Juve. That's the player really that we need. Aggressive player, super strong in terms of tackles, a player that can go up, a player that scores also on corner kicks, something that we need this season, a player that is made for Italian football. I can tell you, some maturity there, a duo, him with the healthy Bremer that can be extremely strong. We already have a bunker in the defense with all the problems that we had this season. Well, having a left foot center back there, a real left foot center back, can be really a beautiful one. So I totally understand that he's the first name on that list, but it's not over because probably there will be a makeover into the defense. And the second name that Juventus is monitoring is the left back. We know the situation of Andrea Cambiaso, ragazzi. I'm happy that he's back at his level with his last performance that was really, really great. So let's see that he continue like that until the end of the season. But looks like the split is already decided between Andrea and between Juventus with Manchester City. That is on the player. So what is a possible name to replace him? It's the name of Miguel Gutierrez. Miguel Gutierrez, player that is playing in Spain at Girona. And Juventus, Giuntoli, they already have an idea. What they want to do is anticipating everyone to try to already have a deal as soon as possible. And probably the name of Arthur, it's not a coincidence that he's there at the moment playing in the same team. Giuntoli wants to make him permanently to Girona. At the moment, it's not that he played that much, 3 appearances, 91 minutes, but he really wants to send him permanently to Girona to have the Spanish left back, Miguel Gutierrez. Miguel Gutierrez, that comes from the youth academy of Real Madrid, has been signed for 4 million to Girona. It's a player that at today, Girona could ask possibly 25 million euro. It's not that much, honestly, for a promising left back. Ragazzi, we are starting to create that defense. Is it a player that I like? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely yes. It's a player that I really, really, really enjoy. And I tell you, if you have a Gutierrez, if you have a Hancko, plus the name that I will mention you later, who will stay, who will leave, we have a beautiful defense. Then we speak about the midfield. Look, Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz is a player that unfortunately didn't work this season. We are already in the 6th of March. He's injured. He will not come back before the international break. He will have not months anymore, but only weeks to prove that he's a player that wants to stay at Juve. Honestly, I give up. I give up with pain in my heart, sincerely with huge big pain in my heart, because he's a good player. We saw glimpses of his quality. I don't think that it was a mistake to go for him, especially for the deal that we did. But I think that the journey of Douglas Luiz and Juve is already over and that he will leave Juve. We know that there is a team that is on him, and in Premier League it is Newcastle. Newcastle, where Giuntoli has a name in his side, is the one of Tonali. It will be tough, it will be difficult to sign Sandro Tonali, even if a lot of Juventini, they want the Italian player back in Italy, especially wearing black and white, not the one of Newcastle, but the one of Juve. So Tonali is one of the names. Another possible name is the one of Ederson. Ederson that is finishing on the papers. Why? Because a talk between Giuntoli and the Bergamaschi from Atalanta already happened in January, with Giuntoli that was already starting to ask information about the Brazilian 25 years old player. What can I tell you about him? I'm a huge, big fan of Ederson. I really believe that he's the real top player from Atalanta. Already last season, better than Lookman, better than Koopmeiners, better than all the players that they have. If Atalanta is working like they are doing, if they are performing like they are doing, it's not only in Gasperini, but also Ederson. On the other side, ragazzi, I would personally pass on that one for two reasons. The first one is, we know it. We signed Koopmeiners, that was a fantastic player, and at the end it's not performing. So that Gasperini system, that Atalanta system, that we always have that question mark about players when they leave Atalanta, are they performing? It's always a question mark. I would not take that risk anymore after Cope. I need a few seasons to come back. That's the first one. Reinforcing with a lot of money Atalanta, it's not something that I would do after the 60 million that we already offered for Cope managers. Wait, calma, because you are reinforcing them with a lot of money. So calma on that one. The third one, because it's not that I have something against Brazilian players. I love Brazilian players. I love Brazilian people. But the problem is that after Douglas Luiz, I would wait. I would wait. Brazilian at Juve, it's not always the best possible wedding. So I would pass on Ederson. Then, guys, if you bring me Ederson, I would hope that he's working, because he's a player that I love. It's a player with fantastic, beautiful qualities. Let's see. But we have beautiful names there between Sandro Tonali, between Ederson. Guys, write in the comment which one you would choose. Then we go with another name. It's the one of Adeyemi. Adeyemi that scored in Champions League a fantastic goal. There is that beautiful debate about did the ball touch the ground or didn't it touch the ball. I don't care, but Adeyemi is a really beautiful name. A name that has been followed now since long by Giuntoli. I remember when we were in that summer camp in Herzogenaurach, they met the papa of Adeyemi and Giuntoli. They met already, they spoke already. He was that close to join Juve. He refused Napoli because Napoli is not the team that he thinks it has his level, but Juve is really an opportunity that he would love to take. Then, of course, he will tell me, but we already have so many players up front. Who's the one that will leave? Guys, think twice. We have a player there that is still not our player, is the name of Conceição, that could possibly not be signed permanently by Juventus. So an Adeyemi could be the possible successor of Conceição with a bit more maturity, with a bit more experience, and probably with less muscular injury, because we know with the Portuguese player it's already the third muscular injury since the beginning of the season, and the team starts to create, to have form. Another name that is not the one of Adeyemi, but still in that position, is the one of Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres, another player. We heard a lot of names. We heard the name of Lookman. We heard the name of so many offensive right wingers, left wingers, that of course, when you see so many names linked to Juve in that position, you are thinking that one will leave. I don't think it will be Kenan Yildiz, but the Conceição could potentially be at risk. Another name that we are speaking about since really long is the one of Jonathan David. Jonathan David that is linked with a lot of teams. Newcastle is one of them, for example. But Mirko Di Natale this morning repeated told us again that David is really one of the objectives of Juve. I told you, Jonathan Davis, I was not the biggest fan of him. On the other side, this season is really proving that he's doing a fantastic, beautiful season, not only in Ligue 1, but also in Champions League, playing against big teams, scoring, doing beautiful performances. Jonathan David is also a free player, a player that you don't have to put any cash on the table, a player that could be totally free immediately from the 1st of June to play, maybe, with Juventus, that Club World Cup. Jonathan Davis is really a target from Juve, but also the one of Giuntoli and Thiago Motta, because they really believe in the player. So how can that Juventus look like at the end of the transfer market 25-26 summer? Could be that we have the 3 goalkeepers, even if pay attention to Perin. Pay attention to Perin, but that's a talk for later. 8 defenders. Kalulu back on the right side of the field, together with Alberto Costa, Bremer, Hancko, Kelly, and Gatti, the 4 defenders, with Renato Vega that is leaving Juventus, because I asked again yesterday some information. They told me that at today it's more a no than yes from Chelsea. So 4 strong center backs on the left side, Miguel Gutierrez and Cabal, that will be back from injury. And that's already a really beautiful 8 men in defense. In the midfield, well, we have a few players there. Tonali or Ederson, choose the one that you want. I went for that Italy, for that a bit more Italian players at Juve, so I went for Tonali, Locatelli, Koopmeiners, Thuram, Adzic, McKennie. That's 6 players in that midfield that are really beautiful, with different skills, with different possibilities to bring something to this Juve. Then on the left, we have Yildiz Bangula that could potentially be reconfirmed after his really beautiful first season. Nico Gonzalez, Wea, and Adeyemi there on the right side, with a Wea that could possibly be a joker. A joker playing as a right back, playing there offensively on the right side, but can play on the left, like for example Nico Gonzalez. And then up front, the Colomoni that is there, reconfirmed with another loan, and Jonathan David. And you will tell me, Beppe, you are totally crazy. You are totally out of your mind. You know how much a team like that will cost us? Well, guys, I made a few calculations. Jonathan David, I already told you, on a free. Colomani, I already told you, it's an extended loan with an obligation to buy, which means that you don't have to put cash on the table immediately. And if really you need some cash, well, that cash will come from saving the salary of the last year of Dusan Vlahovic and cashing in 25 million euro from the Serbian number 9 of Juve. Then we have David Hancko, around 22 million euro. Is that the best cost? No, I don't think so. 25 for Gutierrez. You will tell me, Beppe, it starts to add up now and to sum up. Don't forget that Cambiaso could leave for around 60 million euro to City, and you already repaid the 2 players. You already play Hancko, you already play Gutierrez, so it could be a smart business there. Ederson or Tonali, that would be the big investment in the midfield. 50 million euro, without forgetting that Newcastle and a lot of other clubs from Premier League are interested in our Brazilian player, the number 26, for 35. I think that you can already let him go. And then you have an Adeyemi for 35 million euro. You tell me, Pepe, that costs a lot of money. But if you don't reconfirm Conceição, you save 30 million that were already forecasted to sign the Portuguese player. Not bad, huh? I didn't make the sum exactly because, that's not how it works in football. On the other side, pay attention, because the Club World Cup, a lot of people said, I don't know if I like, I don't know if I want. Oh, yesterday they confirmed that they will give a billion money for the 32 participant clubs. We don't know at today how much it will be divided by all the participant teams, but we already know more or less that the one that will go out of the group, so qualifying to the next stage, will have already 28 million euro, which is absolutely not bad. So Juventus in the group as Manchester City, we need to go for that first or second position so that we qualify, and that's 28 million euro. They are even leaking, that the possible winner could go with 93 million euro. Imagine, that's money that is falling from the sky, which means we need to qualify to this next Champions League and the next one, and performing also really well, so that we are also, again, the Italian team that participate in 4 years to the next one. I'm already thinking about the future. Huh? Money is important to continue that project that we started with Thiago Motta. Speaking about project, yesterday, fantastic Szczesny at Barcelona. They won 1-0 in Champions League with 10 men after the red card to Kubarsi. Yesterday, Szczesny was fantastic, not only on the game, on the field, but also off the field at microphones to Sky Sport, where he said, I am a supporter of Juve. I'm still a supporter of Juve, and I really believe in that project. Of course, it hurted me when I saw Juventus going out of the Champions League, when they were out of Coppa Italia. But when it changed that much, it's totally normal that you have some ups and downs, that you have some losses. We understand it. I understand it. I was, of course, sad. It pained me, but I really believe in that project. So if we really want to believe in that project, if we really want to go with all the names that I told you, to create an even stronger 25-26 on paper Juve, we need to qualify. We need to qualify for the top 4. That's the real first objective of this season. Because if we don't qualify, guys, then we have other names that has been linked with Juve. The names of Coppola, with all the respect for the defender of Verona that we just met last weekend. Ragazzi, it's a difference between Hancko and Coppola. Or going towards the future players like the one of Bertola. Bertola that is playing at Spezia. It's a name that will be fight with between Atalanta and Juve that are interesting in the kit, but it's a difference in having the kit as a 9th defender or a player that you take and that you put on loan somewhere so that he can continue to grow, or having him as a starter of your team because you are obliged, because all the big players are leaving. So pay attention, qualifying to Champions League should be the first real thing, the first real objective before thinking about the other thing. And what does it take to qualify to the Champions League? It's starting to beat already Atalanta. Atalanta, if we beat them, today we go from an illusion of the Scudetto. If you beat Atalanta, it can transform into a dream of the Scudetto. Before the reality, we will need a lot of time. And how do you beat them? Well, already with some players. Thuram. And we will make another video. And probably tonight we'll speak a lot about Khéphren Thuram. But Khéphren Thuram, a starter. And then 2 other ones that could start against Atalanta this weekend. Kalulu that is back. Then we don't know yet. Will he play as a right back instead of a tired Wea? Will he actually play instead of Gatti? Will he play instead of Kelly? I don't know. But Kalulu goes towards a starting spot, like also Samuel Bangula that could possibly start with Nico Gonzalez on the bench. Bangula and Yildiz to create some craziness, some youth there to attack Atalanta and not let them go too high. Pay attention for that. Ragazzi, we have a lot in today's video. Mercato, and possibly already 3 names that are starting against Atalanta. We see each other later for Juve Talk, 9:30 p.m. together with the Turin Giants. Grazie, forza. Juve.